Hello everyone, this is Zero back with some more real-time gaming. We're still talking about Skylords. This is the second episode of this one. We got done mission 3, and we kind of started mission 4. So, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my last video, commented, all that kind of stuff. To dig right into mission 4, let's read it. Fighter ships are used to destroy enemy ships. In this mission, you have the opportunity to do just that to a computer-controlled ship. Except the computer doesn't actually control it, it just kind of owns it. It never moves. Before killing the ship, you need to build a fighter. Click on the Ships button in the drop-down menus in the lower left of the screen. Select your new homeworld, awesome homeworld that is, and the model of your fighter, and click the highlighted Build button. Put some uranium on the fighter, at least 10. I would probably do 100 or I'd get lost and lose it. But no troops or hydrogen. This is also a good time to name the ship if you desire. Click the highlighted Construct Ship button to click Launch Ship. Move the new fighter near the red enemy ship and click attack on the nearby ship and the ship's name. The ship has been destroyed. Well, it's a little hasty. We haven't actually attacked it yet, but hey, whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so let's go to ships. We go to Awesome Homeworld. I'm going to go to Wimpy Fighter. I'm going to build it. I only want one. You can actually select 10. The name of the ship, you know what? Let's name it. Let's just leave it Wimpy Fighter. Wimpy Fighter 3 because we can. I'm going to put 100 uranium on it because if not, I'll lose it and it will die. Launch ship. I'm going to click around. Neat little trick. You can hide under the sun. I can't see the sun, but other people also cannot see me. If I had a transport that had piracy, I would go to Hesate and I would steal that uranium, but I can't. So I'm going to attack it and kill it. As you can see, the transport is now gone. It is not there. If I hit attack ship, you can't see it. But you can see I have experience here. I got 1 experience. Max you can get is 200. And so at 100 experience, your fighter will do double damage and have double defense. Which is sweet, because that means my fighter would then have 2,000 attack and 2,000 defense if I get 100 experience. If I get 200, it would have 3,000 and 3,000. It doesn't go any higher than that. 200 you max. So that limits how strong your ships can be, so you can't just be a total baller and have like a bajillion experienced ship and kill everyone, because, again, that wouldn't be fun. What's the point of playing a game if it's not fun, really? Then it would just be like playing a game as me all the time where you just win. We all know that's not true. The sad part about this game is there's no way to repair your ship. So let's say the SP Confederation right here, as you see, is owned by them, is the computer NPC. You play against them quite a bit. They don't actually do anything ever. You just kill them. But it's good. If they decided to build a fighter with 100 or with 1,000 attack and attacked me, my fighter's attack wouldn't be affected, but I would only have 10 HP left, with no way to ever get it back. So it's kind of a sucky glitch problem-y thing where there's no system to regenerate the health on your fighter. Also assaults, spy ships, probes, and invisible ships, I believe, none of which have attack or defense. They have different mechanics that control and tell you how you can use those ships, just because that's how the game works. So we've destroyed the ship, so it wants us to go back to mission. So we need to capture an enemy planet because we're going to have a totally baller, like the best ever empire. You all know it. So mission 5, capturing enemy planets is the most common method of increasing your empire. Well, that makes sense. Rome didn't really just kind of farm a lot. They took things over. Same idea. You are now ready to capture the enemy planet in your system. Build an assault like you built the fighter. Make sure you put at least 10,000 troops and 1,000 uranium on assault. Move the assault next to the red planet and click on the Capture Nearby Planet button. If the defense of the planet is red, please go and put at least 10,000 troops on your assault. Click on the name of the planet. Like the fighter, assaults also gain experience, which is actually way better than fighters because assaults kill things, kill planets. So if you level up an assault, it actually does ridiculous amounts more damage and is way more efficient. This reduces the cost of capturing planets and can go as high as 200%. We talked about that. Also note that the space button is unavailable after capturing planets. You must select the assault from the ships page after each capture. Note that the troops required to overcome the planet's defenses are lost in the process of capturing the planet. Finally, if the defense of a planet is shown in red, you don't have enough troops on your assault to capture the planet, and the assault will be lost should you attempt. This can be used to capture strong planets as the defense is reduced, but at a high cost to yourself. Okay, so we're going to go to ships. We're going to go to Awesome Homeworld because awesome is awesome, we all know it. Assault 15k, sure. Let's put 100 uranium on there. Let's put, well, you know what, let's do this. Let's do 4 or 999. Okay, so we're going to launch the ship. We're going to mosey our way on over to this planet. Oh gosh, I misclicked. We're going to capture it. Okay, so Dionysus, I swear last time I did this, the names were so much easier to pronounce, is owned by the SP Confederation. Oh gosh, the defense is too high. That is saying, that red right there is indicating that if I click this button, my assault will die. I will lose 9,999 troops, but the defense left over will be 1, which means it'll be pretty easy to take. But considering I don't have 15,000 iron to just replace this ship, I'm going to dock on Awesome Homeworld. I'm going to pick up 2 more troops. I'm going to 2-ship them, and I'm going to mosey again on over here, maybe without misclicking this time, you know, the usual. Ah, look, it's black. That's fantastic. So I'm going to capture it. As you can see, if you remember when I took the green planet in the last mission, or the last video, I had energy and troops. This one, not so much. Why? Because I killed them. Troops and energy are the defensive resources. As you can see, there's 5,000 of each resource, as there was troops and energy, but I had to kill them to get into the planet. Which is fine, because the planet is mine now. Which means I can reset the resource allocation to, just like all the other planets, 5 and 4. Which gives me approximately, not quite 2 days worth of gathering, which is fine, because then I'll just set it to more vital or find vital somewhere else. No big. Oh gosh, sorry guys, that was rude. Okay, so we did that. As you can see, I named my other planet Beta 2, so I'm going to rename this planet Beta 3 because the system is alphabetical. So what you want is you want to keep all the planets in the same system. As you can see, these 3 planets are in the same system, as we talked about. If you go up and down, they disappear. You want to keep them all named relatively the same. So I have Awesome Homeworld, which is going to be an exception to the other planets, and I also have Beta 2 and Beta 3. My next one will obviously be named Charlie, or I don't know, something else that starts with C. If you see this video before I capture my next system, go ahead, comment. Also, I'm always looking for funny names for my ships and planets, so just leave one in the comments, and I will work it into one of my videos in the future, because being awesome is awesome, as we've talked about before. Okay, so I've now captured that planet. Let's see what it tells us to do. It says managing resource production. We already went over that a couple of times because it's kind of a big deal to do in the beginning of the game. If you don't, you kinda suck. But what this mission is telling me to do is to set 3 points to troops, 3 to vital, and 3 to iron, because it just assumes you're not going to be able to figure out that you need to have vital to produce troops, because most noobs don't. They just put all their points on troops or energy, thinking they're going to be totally bad apple, and they suck because they're not producing anything. So the mission tells you to do this. The reason it tells you to make iron is because you need it to build more assaults. You need iron to build fighters. You need iron to build a bigger transport, because 25,000 transport is just painful. Like, if you capture a Space Confederation planet, you actually have to make 2 trips to bring all the resources home. That's just unpleasant. That is like, I don't even know. That's like playing Frogger in real life unpleasant. Like, you just don't ever want to be in that situation. So that's why it does that. So we go to mission here, because we're going to want to get some more iron, but we're going to capture planets is the reason I opted out of that. But to succeed in the mission, we need to. So I did. Okay, so we managed resource production. You guys seem to have that down pretty well, right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I wrong? No? Okay, whatever. You'll figure it out. If I'm not helpful, which I'm probably not, whatever. So let's go to finding nearby planets. Okay, mission 7. I'm going to focus now. I'm going to stop ranting. I'm going to also read this in my epic voice. Before capturing planets to add to your empire, you must first find them. There are 2 ways to find planets, and in this mission you will learn of the simpler and cheaper of the 2. Click on planets and select any of your planets. Click nearby planet. Write down the coordinates of the planet you just found. Remember, it's important to write them down. Now this is where I'm going to chime in and say the game is wrong. it's not important to write them down. It's important to save them and catalog them. Because when I first started playing, I was like 12, and I played for hours. I think there was one point where like a 12-year-old stayed up for like 20 hours straight playing Skylords. And man, did I have a list of coordinates. I had coordinates coming out the wazoo. I had like a binder full of coordinates and just like scrap pieces of paper that were in my dad's office with coordinates on them. The problem is I didn't write what any of them were. I didn't write if I'd captured them. I didn't write if they belonged to a player or a Space Confederation. Because once you have like 1,000 coordinates, you don't really want to take Space Confederation planets. You want to take player planets because it's just better all around. We'll talk about that later. But I had this giant list of coordinates. I didn't know if it was a homeworld that you needed to plan for months to take out, or if it was just something I could drop by and capture. I had this giant list. It literally took me a week to find all the coordinates that I'd written down somewhere in my house, go through and sort and organize them. So what you want to do is you either want to get a notepad or Microsoft Word, or if you're really fancy, Excel or some kind of grid program where you can put in all the planets and their production points for Space Confederation players, homeworlds, planets that you're en route to. That's also important because if not, you'll get confused and lost, and that's no fun. So just make sure that I'm gonna now. Does Alt Tab stop the video? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I thought it did there for a second, but we are back. I use Notepad. I copy and paste into here. I keep them organized into the different groups, so I know what I'm looking for. That's important. That's very important. You don't just want a giant list of crap. Okay, so I'm going to nearby planet here. I got Morpheus. Oh, that's a pretty sick planet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to Alt-Tab to my notepad. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to Alt-Tab back. So I'm going to go to, the mission says, take my assault ship. Problem is, I don't have much uranium or any troops on it, which is going to suck. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to dock on nearby planet. I'm going to load up. I don't need hydrogen because this ship doesn't have warp drive, as we talked about. I'm going to put not 30,000, I can't fit that much. 3,000 uranium, and since I know, pro tip, I know that the planets in the next system, 2 of them are going to be uncolonized, and 1 is going to be Space Confederation. And it's going to have 10,000 defense. Surprise! Not really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 12,000 troops on here, and that puts me over the limit. I'm going to put 11,000 troops on here. Gosh, I'm such a noob. Okay, so I'm going to 2-ship that. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to space. It says Intergalactic Flight. This is the sucky travel option. You notice how hyperjump feature for this ship model is not available. If it was a transport, I could just jump my transport over there by putting the coordinates in here and clicking go, and it would be there. Fantastic. Nope. Not allowed with an assault, because that would be OP, and that's not okay. So here's what we're going to do. I need to iFlight. So I can cheat and click on my planet name, and it'll take me right there, right? It's saying the distance is 4. It's going to take 0 minutes because it's super close. It's in the same system, and I can launch to there, right? That's more helpful if you're not in the same system. If not, you can Alt-Tab to your notepad. So I'm going to go 8504. If you have a better memory than me, I know a lot of people that just memorize the whole thing, but when I'm talking at the same time, I find it really hard. I can usually do the whole thing. I sometimes have to go back and check, but not like this. Okay. Minus 9799. So you can see here, it's going to take 9 minutes. It's going to take 222 uranium. And the interesting thing about intergalactic flight is that it limits how fast you go. So I can set it to drift. It takes less uranium, less fuel, but doubles the time it takes. I can go to fast. I believe it triples the uranium, cuts the time in half. 9-4, the time it works out to makes it 4. So it's actually a little bit more than that. Extreme, I believe, is 20 times, but also reduces it by like 10. So it's pretty ridiculous, but super expensive. So we're going to stick to normal. We might go fast, just because why not? You don't ever want to use deep hyperdimension because it makes your flight success 95%, which means if you land in that 5%, your ship dies. And you never see it again, and that's very sad because you need a ship. I also see here I accidentally did not put the right amount of troops on. So before I launch, I'm going to dock on this planet here, and I don't have any troops on it. That is why that didn't work. I'm going to go on Awesome Homeworld. And I'm going to put 11,000 troops on, because that makes me less of a noob. I'm also going to Intergalactic Flight again. But unfortunately, that's all the time I have for right now. I will launch this flight, and I will see you later. Just remember, comments, questions, rude remarks, leave them in the comments. I'll read them, reply. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Love you guys. Bye.